Cool. Let's go. Welcome to the lodge. Y'all. Mikey T, the movie star here. Let me get my audio. Let's go. Welcome to. You heard me. Welcome to the lodge, y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. That's right. Whole different vibe, you guys. Whole different vibe. We're going live midday. Right now, I'm actually in New Hampshire. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the mountains and shit like that. So I'm finding a little bit of time in between play to actually jump on here and do some news. And I actually saw some interesting story development in the Taxstone case. So I wanted to speak on that today, you guys. I wanted to speak on that. Also, I wanted to get into my throwback interview with Casanova, where he actually spoke on meeting Taxstone in the box. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all seen that interview that I did with Casanova. I actually linked up with him a few years back after he had just released Don't Run, actually. So I linked with him. You know what I mean? I linked with him, and we pretty much it was a go from right there. You know what I mean? Casanova really had the ball, and he ran with it after Don't Run. You know what I mean? He took that relationship with Memphis Bleak and he turned it into a full-on relationship with Jay-Z. Not everybody can do that. You know what I mean? Just being 100% honest with you guys, not everybody can actually, turn a relationship with Memphis Bleak into a relationship with Jay-Z. We've seen Bleak put in position before doing record labels. You know what I mean? It just so happened to catch with Casanova, man. Bleak is a hell of an ear, though. You know what I mean? You got to really consider the fact that he never gave up. You know what I mean? Even after releasing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's not a shot, man. That was a pretty decent album. Jonathan Murray says free Taxstone from CT, New Haven to be exact. We got No Swine, please. Okay, he's not a pork guy. Peace from Orlando, Florida. Big ups, Mikey, the damn movie star. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I wanted to come on here and speak on a few different things, y'all. Taxstone just put up some pretty shocking statements to me. You know what I mean? Basically saying that Troy Ave has spun the narrative for like the last 6 years. You know what I mean? He's saying he's been able to spin the narrative for the past 6 years while he's been incarcerated. You know what I mean? And when you have the ability to fight your case from outside of the pen, you are able to spin the narrative. When you're locked up, when you're, out of sight, out of mind is what they say. What up, Samuel Rodriguez? I appreciate you for tapping in. My guy, Steven Rivera's in the building. Major love. Appreciate everybody for tapping in, sharing this video. We're going a little bit early today. I'm actually, I'm out of state right now, in the mountains and shit like that. Getting a little snowboarding action going on, but I wanted to come on and speak on some hip hop news, especially with everything going on with, everything going on right now, actually, with this whole case. I had actually done an interview with Casanova. So it was interesting to see, a bunch of different outlets. Vlad TV actually posted the old Breakfast Club interview that Casanova did. You know what I mean? And now there's a post on Taxstone's page where he actually says that Troy Ave has been spinning the narrative for 6 years. So we have a couple things to talk about. I also wanted to flash back and take a look at my interview with Casanova, where Casanova actually spoke on meeting. He spoke on meeting Taxstone in the box. Of all places, you guys, he spoke on meeting Taxstone in the box. Very in-depth interview I got with Casanova. He actually explained making Don't Run. You know what I mean? We literally did this interview as he was just connecting with Warehouse. You know what I mean? Connecting all the dots, and Don't Run was really starting to take off. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. We're going to get going in just a second because we have some news to talk about. Also, I wanted to show my throwback interview with Casanova. You know what I mean? He did call me a porno star in it, but, Casanova's the OG, man. Casanova's the OG. I really respect him for actually, showing me love. I respect him for showing me love.
Shout out that boy Mikey T, the polo star. Gotta watch out for him in the polo, man. With his socks on, man. Nasty feet. Yeah.
So you see, I got the rugged interview with Casanova right there. This is right after he started to blow up, man. Literally right after releasing Don't Run and the record started taking off. Tapia Heritage, Gilly, yup, salute my big bro, Gilly the Kid. Turn It Down, man. Finesse the Prophet, bro. If you hadn't seen that interview about 6 years ago, whatever it was, I don't know what to say, man. That video has about 1 million views on it on the internet. But anyways, so yeah, Casanova actually went on the Breakfast Club at a certain point and said that he is actually the one that invited Taxstone to come out. Casanova stressed that he actually knew Taxstone wasn't the type to go out, but he wanted him to come out. It was a big party. You know what I mean? It was a big party. T.I., T.I. was coming out, but around this time, T.I. was signing artists for Grand Hustle. And one of the artists that was really collecting a buzz, just before Casanova really started to blow up, Troy Ave had caught a buzz. Troy Ave had these records that really were starting to reach down to Miami. I mean, he went down there and was working with Rick Ross for a little bit. You know what I mean? He already had the attention of 50 Cent, and now he's getting the attention of T.I. We all know T.I. has had his hands in a couple different, things. He signed Meek Mill at one point, or was toying with the idea of signing Meek Mill. 50 Cent, we all know 50 Cent had the G Unit Empire, and Maybach Music was definitely the hottest record label at one point. So there was an idea that Troy Ave could potentially be with MMG. They did, I believe they did a remix video together for All About the Money. So yeah, there was a bubbling bidding war going on for Troy Ave at this time. Now Casanova came out with this big single, Don't Run. Very, very organic, very independent grind Casanova was on, making it onto the scene. The record just started to bubble. Jay-Z put Memphis Bleek in a position where Warehouse would have the opportunity to grow, and they just so happened to pop. Memphis Bleek put on a few artists. He put on Manolo Rose. He put on Casanova. Casanova was the one who just started to pop. Now Manolo Rose kind of got the short end of the stick, because if we're talking about Troy Ave and Manolo Rose actually had a record together that technically was Troy Ave's. I don't know what the whole situation of that was, whether it was a record that was bought from Troy Ave or how that really played out. I can't remember at the current time, but Jonathan, no, I did not see the new Wave God video showing Max B Mad Love. Who was it showing Max B Mad Love? Please explain. Who strong-armed what situation? Finesse the product. Who strong-armed what situation, my brother? Greg, appreciate you for tapping in. Try to be a little bit more, specific when you're leaving comments so I can interact with the comments, you guys. Nas, no, that's dope, man. Nas showing Max B love. I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe I'll even do a piece on it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Or this weekend. Because I like to stay on top of shit. I like to stay on top of the most current hip hop news. We really don't hear too much about this case in more recent months, because of the fact that, like Taxstone said in this tweet that he put out, or this Instagram post, he said this case has been going on for 6 years, y'all. You know what I mean? We really don't hear about shit like that so frequently, because, you know what I mean? The shit's been run dry. You know what I mean? There's everybody blogging about it, all types of shit like that. So when you do get a piece of news, sometimes it doesn't come as quickly in the past as it has before. You know, like same situations with guys like Rondo, same situations with Max B. You know what I mean? There was several years where we really didn't hear much from Max. You know what I mean? I remember before when I was going to interview Hot Boy Turk. Like this is kind of like a way to gauge it as well. When Hot Boy Turk was about to get out of jail, he had about 3 months left. I hit his people up and his people hit me back. Yo, Turk's not going to do any more interviews while he's incarcerated because he's about to get out in the next few months. So, yeah, I've gone through things like that. I've had people call me and say they wanted to bring me to the jail that Prodigy was at so I could have a conversation with him. You know what I mean? Face to face. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Having the opportunity to build with some of these hip hop artists from some of the biggest groups, like we're talking Mobb Deep, we're talking the Hot Boys. You know, I look at it as a privilege to share all that news, all this information with you guys. You know, but I did want to say, having gotten an interview with Casanova, I missed out on my opportunity to get an interview with Troy Ave. You know, I had an opportunity to interview Troy Ave. Major salute to Wink Loke, who was working with CTE and Young Jeezy. Wink Loke and myself had taken on a relationship, and he hit me up, yo, Mikey T. I know you're doing your thing with the interviews. I got this dude Troy Ave out of Brooklyn that you gotta interview, Mikey T. And I was like, yo, man, you know I live in Florida, first of all. At this point in time, I actually lived in Florida and shit like that, and I didn't have any plans of coming up. So I missed an interview with Troy Ave. You know what I mean? So, and then when I actually did make my way up to New York, I was at this big party. It was a show, and I was supposed to be interviewing Manolo Rose. So my gauge was on meeting Manolo Rose, and this is when I actually missed my opportunity to meet Taxstone. Taxstone was actually hosting the party that night. It was K Camp and Manolo Rose. I want to say it had to be in Manhattan. So Manolo Rose had left. So me and my people, we went out and caught him by his car. We're like, yo, what up, Manolo Rose? This, that, and the third. Can we shoot an interview? This was real guerrilla style back in the day, you guys. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work so much like that anymore. You know what I mean? If you were to catch the baby, little baby, or the baby, or rest in peace, young Dolph, like I had linked up with Dolph a few times at different shows. Like it was a different story catching them at the beginning of their careers. G Money, what's going on? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for tuning in from Broward County. Oh, no shit, Jonathan. I'm going to check that out. If you could, DM that to me on the gram, bro. It's Mikey T _ the movie star. When's Skinny Me coming out? Free Skinny Me. You know, that's the bro. I really appreciate him for giving me an interview. That's the dude right there. That's the dude, man. Really appreciate guys like Skinny Me. Really appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative to the people who give me opportunities in this game, y'all. So Taxstone posted this message on his Instagram that kind of caught me off guard today. I wanted to talk about it, you know what I mean? Because I don't really hear too much about this case. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's been going on a long time. So you won't really be getting news updates every single week about it. You know what I mean? Sometimes we'll go dry for a few months, as I just pretty much went over. So Taxstone had wrote on his gram, he said, these dudes that got me in jail, the dudes that came to get me, got me in jail. A effing fake activist. Meanwhile, this F-boy been painting a narrative for 6 years that I came to harm him. So yeah, that's pretty much, you know what I mean, what everybody has been saying in regard to this case. That's not the end of the message, but I want to chime in right there. That's pretty much what everybody has been saying in regard to this case with Troy Ave. That Troy Ave was the, you know, the person that was on the receiving end of what was going on. Just to put it in a better term, you know what I mean? Troy Ave, to many, was not looked at as the aggressor until, of course, that one video popped up. Whether it was a video or a GIF, whatever the hell it was, it popped up of Troy Ave going shine in the club. You know what I'm saying? And that is one of the predominant images that is out from that night. You know what I mean? Troy Ave looking like that. Troy Ave shows have gone all to hell since that situation happened. You know what I mean? Troy Ave shows have been so diminished. And you can say whatever you want about the fact that he wasn't being allowed to do shows in New York, and then he would have to go out and do a show in Wisconsin. He did a show in Connecticut as well. He did 2 shows in Connecticut that I've been to. Well, the second one, I really couldn't even stay there for that long. There was nobody at the second show, which happened after this occurrence. You know what I mean? Troy Ave's popularity drastically dipped after this occurrence. Well, it really was what he did on his mixtape. You know what I mean? It was really what he did on his mixtape when he actually had that line where he said, "If it's you or my fam, I'm gonna point my finger at you from the stand. I'm gonna flip you off from the stand." Somebody get the real lyric. I've gone over it a number of times, but that's really where he took everybody off the element. You know what I mean? Because at first, okay, we understand you got involved into a crazy situation in a New York club. Yeah, you're not able to tour for a while. We've seen this happen to many artists. You know what I'm saying? But shit, we've seen artists get deported, go to jail for 10 years over this type of situation. So we've been through it as spectators in the past. You know what I mean? We saw it happen to Shine. You know what I mean? We saw it happen to Hot Boy Turk. You know what I'm saying? We saw it happen to different rappers, Max B. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of have been conditioned for this shit as a hip hop fan. Now, in Troy Ave's situation, Troy Ave, to my knowledge, really hasn't been to jail for much longer than 3 or 4 months for this case. I do remember he went to jail. And he stayed right on it, you guys. I'll give it to him. I gotta give it to him. Troy Ave stayed right on it. He released a mixtape. He had a mixtape of pre-recorded material, it must have been, ready to go, and he recorded a new freestyle from jail. I'll give it to him. He did that right. But when he came back with that second mixtape, somebody get me the title of the tape. And then he did that joint where he actually did a video to it. And he basically said something that I don't even feel is accurate. He said that if he had to take the stand, if it was him or his fam, he was going to say middle finger from the stand. I could bring up the lyric if I want to, but I really don't want to bring up no snitching ass lyric like that. Just to be 100% with you guys, man. Like, that lyric threw me off as a Troy Ave fan. I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. Skirt, skirt, skirt. You know what I mean? We question the Migos. You know what I mean? We question the Migos. We question the Young Thugs. You know what I'm saying? We question the designers. We want to put them up on a pedestal and we want to know everything about them. But we got this one artist basically already saying he's going to jump on the stand. You know what I mean? Salute. Appreciate you, Schizo. Yeah, G Money. Troy Ave has a couple records. We're actually about to be joined by SV Twiz. Troy Ave has a couple records. You could really see that he was making a transition in the game to the point where he was just releasing the local material to the point where he could release material to the national audience. I'm talking about records like All About the Money. I'm talking about records like She Belongs to the Game. You know what I mean? He even who did he have on that one record? Did he get Mace on a record or was it just Lloyd Banks? Did Troy ever get Mace on a record? Or was it? I'm pretty sure it was just Lloyd Banks to that one old beat, which was really good. I was but let's be honest. I might have to ask the chat that. We might have to ask the chat that who got bigger in the game. That might be the question of the day. Who got further in the industry? Troy Ave or Casanova 2 times? I'm asking y'all. I want y'all to tell me, man. What up, Bones? Appreciate you. I want y'all to answer the question. Who got further in the industry? You know what I was talking about it a little bit earlier. Troy Ave was in the middle of a bidding war, it seemed. Everybody wanted Troy Ave, from Rick Ross to T.I. 50 seemed like he was interested, but 50 never pulled the trigger on it. You know what I mean? Casanova's situation, a little bit different. Casanova actually came up on the independent tip with the label Warehouse, and then they bridged the gap and made it a Rock Nation thing. You know what I mean? They actually impressed Jay, they actually impressed Rock Nation, and they made it a real thing. Casanova made it pretty far in the game. I got to give him that, you guys. I really do. I got to give it to him because a lot of people would have expected Casanova to fail. Troy Ave actually has a much deeper history in the game of trying to blow up. You know, Troy Ave was releasing bodies of work to the point where he started selling a few units. Casanova got out of jail, bought the Don't Run beat for a couple $100, as I got him to explain to me in an interview. And it was really to the moon for him because once he got the record, once he got the cosigns, like he got the cosigns from everybody, you guys. Like I got to say, he must have got more cosigns than Troy Ave. Fab, Chris Brown, Dance with 50 Cent. Everybody was co-signing Casanova, you guys. Everybody was co-signing Casanova as well. It's just that they already kind of assumed he was off limits. You know what I mean? It's kind of like me. You know, everyone's like, oh, Mikey T is off limits. Mikey T must be good. Hey, if you can bring something better to the table, holla at me. But Casanova's situation might have been a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because Casanova, you know, had the relationship with Memphis Bleak, which is big brothered by the relationship with Jay-Z, which is pretty much like the best relationship you could have in the game. You know what I mean? Back in the day, people would ask you, who would you rather sign to, Rockefeller or G Unit? You know what I mean? Who would you rather sign with, Jay-Z or 50 Cent was probably the more sustained question. If you look at that situation now, if you look at the longevity of the situation now, it's Jay-Z. You know what I mean? A lot of people would have wanted to be around these guys like the Rick Rosses. You know what I mean? Like the 50 Cents. It's cool flying on all them jets and shit like that. But Jay-Z's the type of person that makes sure you inevitably end up on your own jet. You know what I mean? Jay-Z's that type of person. A lot of these guys after leaving 50, a lot of these guys after leaving Ross, a lot of these guys after leaving whatever label they left, they don't leave in the best of positions. 50 even said it about MOP, right? 50 said MOP came to G Unit in debt. Maybe even MOP said it about themselves. The way that 50 Cent had MOP touring, he got them all out of their debt. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit. That's why people go and work at a job 7 days a week. You know what I mean? To make money, to change their life, man. G Money says, I like that Troy Ave song, She Belongs to the Game. But other than that, I don't really listen to him. Well, let's take a look at the poll. Let's take a look at the poll right now. Who got further in the industry? I'm going to ask my co-host since he's just tapping in. I'm going to put it on my co-host since he's just tapping in. Quiz, what's going on, bro?
Mikey T, bro. Salute, bro. What's good? What's good?
Oh, we back at it, man. You know, in between hitting the mountains and shit, we got to come on here live.
Oh, that's heavy, man. That's how I get carried over here, man. You already know. Salute to the chat too.
So, Twiz, I'm gonna throw it at you right now, bro. Who got further in the industry, man? Was it Casanova 2 times, or was it Troy Ave? Who got further in the industry, in your opinion?
Casanova to me. Casanova. Yeah.
All right. You have any reasoning behind that other than the fact that he pretty much signed, you know, he had the relationship with Memphis Bleak, which ended up bleeding over to Jay-Z. You know, Jay gave Memphis Bleak an opportunity, which in this case, Memphis Bleak turned up a touchdown.
True. And I just feel like Troy Ave was treated like before all the nonsense and stuff, he had some joints though. Troy Ave was hot, you know what I'm saying? But he had like a underground style to him. I think it was because of like the his independency. you know, the him trying to, you know, do everything from the muscle and not really having the machines and nothing behind them like that. So he was like more of a, it just was different. You know what I'm saying? Skitto, salute, bro. Salute.
Now, I was saying, Twiz, that at one point it seemed to be a bidding war around Troy Ave. Like Rick Ross jumped on his remix.
True.
You had the old 50 Cent relationship. You know what I mean? You had T.I. asking him to come out and perform. You know what I mean? Compared to Casanova, who really, you know, it's like, okay, that's kind of Jay-Z's guy, so we can't touch it.
I lost the audio, Mikey. Let me tap out and tap right back in my phone.
All right. So yeah, Tapia says, once Jay steps in, it's done. You're marketable. Yeah, in more recent years, you know, it didn't really work out for Tierra Marie so much. You know what I mean? When she was the lady of the rock back in the day, even though she had a cool single, you know what I mean? Even though she had a cool single, it really didn't work out so much for her after that. All right, we got Twiz
My,
back. How's the audio, Twiz?
it's good. My phone alarm had went off and it threw everything off, so I had to make sure that that was off. My fault.
So Taxstone posted this message. We're going to get right into it. Taxstone wrote on his gram, he said, these the dudes that got me in jail. The dudes that came to get me got me in jail, a effing fake activist. And meanwhile, this boy has been painting a narrative for 6 years that I came to harm him. I didn't even know I was going. And if I would have seen his name on the flyer, I wouldn't have went. I've been avoiding these roaches. But now he decides to snitch on himself and say they knew I was there. So what do you make of that though, Twiz? What do you make of that statement right there from Taxstone, who said if he would have known they were there, he wouldn't have gone? Because for the last few years, it's kind of been the impression that, you know, Troy Ave was the one who was on the receiving end of everything.
Well, that's what make the case and everything so messed up is that, you know, free Taxstone too. It's just crazy that Taxstone, he was talking about the man a lot, bro. So he just made it look, no matter how it looked, Troy Ave is you know, gonna play the victim and all of that. You know what I mean? So the statement like it's real crazy, bro. It sound like Taxstone is understanding that he in the jam, but he upset how he got himself in that jam. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, it's a real bad situation, man.
Yeah, he says, you know, he didn't want to be around them. He says if he would have known that they were going to be there, he actually would not have even shown up. You really buy that so much, Twiz? I kind of do believe it. You know what I mean? I kind of feel
Yeah.
like if he knew that he was going to be there, he would have probably tried to avoid the problem, even though I've seen Taxstone at shows in the past.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It depends how, you know, he felt. If, you know, if that's what he say, you know, that's what we definitely had to go off, even though they had like a prior history, you know what I mean, going back and forth. Um, you just that's why you gotta fall back, man. You don't gotta prove your realness. You know, I don't care how tough you is. Shit, nobody be out here trying to bully nobody or even say certain things because it's gonna be a day where, you know, you might have to come face to face to that person and you never know how it might play out. Even if, you know, let's say he, you know what I'm saying, Troy Ave wouldn't even had did what he did after that. It's like you still put your freedom on the line, bro. You know what I'm saying? For nothing. You had like a great career ahead of you. You know what I mean? But it was very unfortunate, man.
Yeah, man. So Taxstone actually had another post up where Banga's brother was actually speaking. Rest in peace, Banga.
Hmm.
So apparently he was saying T.I. had called Troy Ave to perform, and he knows the streets of New York that are strong. So Troy Ave apparently knew that I would have to assume that he was going to be going. And I assume Casanova is who the dude was talking about. Troy Ave pretty much knew Casanova was going to be at the event that T.I. was asking him to come and perform at, Twiz, is what I'm making of this. Because Casanova at that point, he's the biggest thing in one of the biggest things in New York. You know, he's showing face everywhere. So that's why Troy Ave wanted to make sure that he had his homies with him that were going to, you know, stand up for him, I think.
Facts. Facts. I mean, that's just how people move, period, in the streets, bro. Like when you from the streets, and even if you're not from the streets, being in that line of entertainment, when you know it's issues and friction between other artists and people, you know, it's not too smart to travel by yourself.
All right. So, Twiz, why, some people would say, why would Troy Ave go to that show?
Um, the same reason why anybody would, you know, as a man, nothing gonna stop you from doing that. Um, he still at this time before this happened, he wasn't getting, you know, accused of being a snitch. He wasn't being accused of being that. So he was moving more freely.
Yep.
And you know, that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Most likely it was definitely probably a bag involved. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Well,
that's their job.
it was the T.I. situation. I mean, shit.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like Gilly the Kid and Wallow call you up to get on some podcast and shit. You know what I mean? They call you to come out and do some shit like that. Just, you know, why would you miss that opportunity, Twist?
Exactly, exactly. It's business, networking, um, you know, pushing your brand, you know, all that and above. So, you know, he had the right to go to the show. You know what I'm saying? Especially being from the streets, whether you know it's an enemy or not. There, salute trench, baby. You know what I mean? You not if you gotta live like that, you ain't gonna never be able to get nowhere in that
Yeah,
in that form of entertainment.
and speaking for Casanova,
Hmm.
Casanova going to the show that night. I mean, shit, who it could have been any number of things. Maybe he needed to
Facts.
tie up a loose end with T.I. to get T.I. on the Don't Run remix. Maybe it could have been something along those. Maybe it was just somebody totally different that was there. You're always trying to build
Hmm.
when you're in the music industry, man. It just really sucks that it had to result in this situation.
It do. It do. You know what I mean? Two careers wiped out because even with Troy Ave being home, his whole career, it put a hole in his jacket because now he got the snitch accusations and all of that. It's like
Well,
now
he
he got,
kind of did he put that on himself, Twiz, by putting
yeah,
that on one of his songs?
he did. He put it on himself by putting it on his songs. He did it by himself for saying the streets is a myth and all of that. Salute, salute. You know, you know you can't call the streets a myth being from the streets. You know, it's a code to everything. I don't care if you working at Walmart or if you in the streets, if you in the army, everything got a code of conduct. You know what I mean? So when you involve with that and you carrying it like you a part of that, when things you know what I'm saying, the truth is the streets don't love you. It's not that it's a myth. It's just that you can't win. You know, we see it every day, and just because you're successful when you do actions that's of the streets, bro, you get treated just like a person that got $20 in their pocket. You know, sometimes if the case is smaller, you can buy your way out the situation. But when we talking about drama like that, you know, you can't go against what you built your whole empire off of.
Taxstone says this. He said, meanwhile, this F boy has been painting a narrative for 6 years. So, meanwhile, Taxstone has been locked up. Troy Ave really only spent a few months in jail. When Troy Ave first got locked up, let's
Hmm.
take it back there, Twiz. Troy Ave gets locked up. He immediately drops a project. And at the beginning of the project, there's a freestyle with him from jail. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
That was
Definitely remember that.
that was kind of smart on his point to get a project right
Yeah,
out.
it was. That was networking all the way through. But then he probably knew he was gonna get right back out. He already went in that joint already with his mind made up. Like, you ain't getting me for this.
I got the money to get out if need be, if I can make it work to my end.
facts. The money in, he knew what story he was going to carry and what approach he was going to take. So
Yeah. Once you got your story situated, man, you know what I mean? Once you got your story situated where you're innocent in that story, you pretty much just run with that shit. But so what do you make though of the fact that he's been out here able to tell the story or keep his mouth shut, from whatever he's done from different interviews, whereas Taxstone has just been incarcerated for this time, not able to speak his piece like Troy Ave is, for in the last few months to the last few years, it's really had me thinking like this case is going to be so easy for Troy Ave that he wouldn't even have to take the stand, Twiz.
on top of taking a stand, it was 9 times out of 10. It's probably I didn't even look into like the paperwork of the case, but I'm pretty sure Troy Ave already got statements. You know what I mean? Um, he's going to take the stand. He going to. I can't see him not taking the stand because you got video evidence. You know what I'm saying, that him discharging a firearm. You know what I mean? So they going to force him to elaborate on what happened and what he feel like. But it's unfortunate that he was able to just jump right back out and like still like troll the whole situation for it to be such a serious situation and for him to carry it how he carrying it. I think he should have just came home, humbleized himself, and if anything, it shouldn't be all that talking. You better try to just put it in music and give little nips and pieces of it. You know what I mean? Try to keep the people question because the more he talked, that's what made him look a little crazy. You know what I mean? Going on his little rants and all of that.
Now here he says, I didn't even know I was going, and if I would have seen his name on the flyer, I wouldn't have went. I've been avoiding these roaches. But now he decides to snitch on himself and say they knew I was there. I'm not so sure if Troy Ave knowing that Taxstone may be there with Casanova or whoever is snitching, because in a lot of these situations, Twiz, people who are going to perform, they know their ops may be in the building. That's why they bring proper security or, really hired security.
It's that statement sounded to me like Taxstone trying to reverse it on him. Like he
Yes.
telling on himself. He came there to do what he did to me. Y'all saw the video. So it sounded like he trying to like throw clues out there for the evidence or whatever, man. That sound crazy for him to be like, he's snitching on himself because what could he snitch on himself for besides, what people saw him on video doing. He was like he's snitching on himself. He knew that I was going to be there. So like that sounds shaky right there. That shows once again all that real stuff, bro. When them football numbers is over your head, you know what I mean? Some people break, bro.
Well, I don't really know how to call it, to be honest with you, man. Taxstone and Troy Ave, this situation is really twisted up now, Twiz, because at
It
first,
is.
like you're saying, man, Troy Ave gave a statement. He's actually gonna have to go on there on the stand and pretty much give out a detailed version of that statement. Probably
Facts.
a lot more. It'll be a lot more drawn out, But if he already has
Facts.
the plan in his head, you know what I mean? Like if he was already like in a room and he was like, "Yo, these guys have been after me, man, and now they finally got me." That would be definite snitching. You know what I mean? That would be like
Facts.
definite snitching.
Facts.
And I think that's what Taxstone is saying here, Twiz.
It,
And
the,
then
the
just
whole
sorry.
no, I was just agreeing with you. Like the whole drum definitely sound real shaky, man. I don't know, how to take it, especially with that statement right there, man. And it's crazy, bro. Like, was it all worth it, man, for either side, bro?
Yeah, because I'm saying, man, just because you say if you would have seen his name on the flyer, if you would have known he was there, that you wouldn't, it doesn't matter what you would have done. in this case, Twiz.
True.
It just matters what ended up happening. You know what I mean? Like that's the situation in anything. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about it is, do anybody have video of what Taxstone is allegedly being accused by Troy Ave?
Is Casanova going to be called onto the stand? Because
Whoa.
Casanova actually went onto the Breakfast Club, Twiz, and said, he said, you know what's so crazy? Why I'm really hurt is because I told him to come out with me. That's why I feel like I owe him the world. So Casanova went on the Breakfast Club and pretty much admitted to being the one that actually told Taxstone to come with him that night, Twiz. You know, I don't think he wanted to come with him for any crazy ass reason. I think he wanted him to come with him because Taxstone was becoming one of the most popular people in the industry.
True, and they had like a bond. You know what I mean? Just supposed to be solid dudes from where they from in New York and all of that. So yeah, I mean that's just how people network.
What up, Sean? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Just had to go over this Taxstone
Salute, Sean. That joint crazy though, man. It's real crazy.
Yeah, man. I just find it hard to believe. Find it a little bit hard to believe that all these dudes were going there to beef that night. You know what I mean?
Facts.
In front of Ti. You know what I mean? Uh, Troy Ave was obviously ready. You know what I mean? Troy Ave was obviously making himself ready for a
hmm
potential situation like that to happen, as anybody should. You know what I mean? When
hmm
when you're the breadwinner, I mean, look what happened with King Von and Quando Rondo and Lil Tim just now. You know what I mean? People like
Facts.
it's a crazy situation. You know what I mean? It's somewhat comparable. Major salute. Buffalo's in the building.
Buffalo James Brown was good, bro.
Jay Hirsch says Tax always hated Troy because Troy was more popping than him. Well, that's why I was saying
I,
about Taxstone, man. He was becoming really popular. Like, look,
yeah,
he interviewed Meek. You know what I mean? One of the only people
yeah.
Meek would interview with, Twiz.
I'm not gonna say that Troy Ave was more popping than him. Um, Before Taxstone, people wasn't even using the word podcast, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like he set the way for that. You know what I mean? For having people come on his shows and it might get disrespectful, it might be love, it might be, you know what I mean? Taxstone ain't had no filter. And if he wouldn't have been in that situation, bro, he would have been bigger than Ack and all of them guys, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, just because of the energy and stuff that he had in the time frame that he was doing it. But Taxstone is one of them guys, you can just tell if he don't like you, he ain't gonna never like, you know how people settle it down the line. He's just the type of guy where he just never gonna like you, bro. Like, and gonna always pick at you if he see you, he gonna remind you he don't like you. He just seemed to stand on what he stood on.
Mm. Yep, this is a major L for everybody involved because, like you were saying
Uh-huh.
earlier, you know, Troy Ave has actually, just like Quando Rondo, Troy Ave has lost his career. You know what I mean? Sure, he's
Facts.
doing a few things. He's doing a few things. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? He had actually just started doing his own little YouTube reality show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
but
he watered down a lot now because of the whole situation. You know what I mean? He put a lot of cut to his brand, and one of the biggest things is what Troy Ave try to use to promote now to shill everything is the money that he getting, the money he made. Excuse me. Like if you notice, he always in interviews he talking about I'm the first one that did this. You know how much money I made from being independent? I own this, I own that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, a lot of times things still don't be all they cracked up to be, bro. Especially when it comes to like rappers and things like that, you know, because you talk to Troy Ave, he talking like, you know, he Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just he talk about like accomplishments he made and this and that. But, you know, if you ain't continuing that revenue, how long will it last? But he still got a fan base that ride with him, though. You know what I'm saying? But he lost a section of his street fan base, though, definitely.
My bad. My bad. Continue, Twiz.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, he watered his brand down a lot. You know, what he should have did was not talk about it publicly, let it go to court, let his lawyer argue in his defense. If he felt as though it was self-defense, he shouldn't have came home and was on rants like, oh, the streets a myth, and yeah, I'll take the stand, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. You know what I mean? If you got money and you can afford the best representation, then that's what you and your lawyer talk about. Your lawyer is supposed to argue that it's self-defense. You're not supposed to be like you willingly ready to take the stand and the streets is a myth and this and that. So that's just what made the whole John look crazy. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it was like he was starting to, by saying the streets is the myth, it's like he was starting to, cover up his tracks from right
facts,
before when he had said he's going to have to take the stand. So now he's not,
facts,
it was kind of like what Wack was trying to explain to 6ix9ine about him not being a gangster. It was kind of like
facts.
uh, Troy Ave was trying to get everybody ready. But does Troy Ave really have the music that crosses over to where he doesn't have to be a gangster rapper? You know what I mean? He had a hit with She Belongs to the Game. I can't really think of any, like, style is just kind of a gangster style in nature of music, I want to say.
Yeah, but he also the type of artist that could make music for women and things like that. He kind of like, cause he don't just, it ain't like he talk about the streets, but he don't got that shoot 'em up bang bang music either. You know what I mean? He got more like a I'm
He's like
successful
drug
style
dealing
music.
style. He's like the
Yeah,
drug rap.
yeah, true, true.
Yeah. But yeah, so we also got an interview that we're going to take a look at today, you guys. My interview with Casanova, because Charlemagne had actually asked him, he asked Casanova, or he said to him, you met Taxstone in jail, and why was he so important? And that's one of the things that I went over with Casanova in the interview, Twiz, how he actually, linked up with Taxstone, and he told me they linked up while they were in the box.
Damn.
Yep. He said they met up when they were in the box, man. How do you meet somebody while you're in the box, Twiz? I don't know you
Oh,
ever been
that's
in the box, but
yeah, absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's being inside, period. You can meet guys and they end up being like family. You could be somebody in jail and y'all click so crazy, y'all can end up being tighter than somebody you known for 10 years on the streets. You know what I mean? It's a different type of bond with people in jail, bro, because y'all both is at your lowest um form of living, dealing with the same struggles. You vent to people, your cellie, whoever, you vent to them more than you would to somebody on the streets. And to be successful in it, to get out of it and be successful, it's no different than like, somebody you might have been in the service with, and then y'all get to come home and stuff. It's like, we done been in hell, now we out here enjoying life. So yeah, that happens a lot. I got a lot of good relationships with people I was down with.
that's what's up, man. So I'm about to cue this up. It's only an 8-minute interview, nothing too
Okay.
crazy. I just want to take a look at it. Twiz, you got anything popping on your channel right now that you want anybody to take a look at after the interview, though?
Stay tuned, man. I do got a couple videos I dropped. Just I ain't gonna get into details. Y'all can scan through the page, but I got a fire interview that's about to drop. So keep your eyes open for that. I'm not gonna say who it is, man. Mikey, we chopped it up already, but who I was telling you about that interview is about to fall to I'm supposed to be doing that tomorrow. So keep your eyes open, man. And you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned in, man. We keep it pushing. Y'all know how we carry it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You gotta stay on top of it, Twiz.
Definitely.
And we'll be back this weekend for more exclusive live videos. But we had to come on here today and talk, because it was interesting. Charlemagne asked Casanova why Taxstone was so important, and Cass said that Tax was one of the reasons I didn't want to be gangsta no more. He told me to stop going to these mixy places. If nobody's trying to better you, you stay away from them. You go you go here by yourself. And Charlemagne said that he had wished Taxstone took that advice before Casanova had to hit him with the big one of telling him that, what's crazy, what really hurt, why I'm really hurt is because I told him to come out with me, so more so than just Taxstone taking that advice, you know what I mean? Like Casanova said he was the one who actually brought him out that night, which kind of like, I think it must have thrown Charlemagne off as an interviewer there for a second, Twiz.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but sometimes, that's just how it is. For a homie, somebody you got love with, you kind of feel it deep down inside. Like, bro, I really wouldn't be doing this on a regular, but I'm going to do it for, I'm going to do it for Cass. I'm going to do it for my bro. Let me just pop out with him.
But yeah, let me bring up this clip.
All right.
You just make sure the audio is good on this. I don't want to blow out everybody's ear.
Shout out that boy Mikey T, the polo star. Gotta watch out for him in the polo, man, with his socks on, man. Nasty feet. Yeah, shout out to the pro radio also.
It's not the concept behind the single Don't Run.
Yeah, it's basically about, somebody getting robbed and not knowing the other person got the gun. So the hunter becomes the hunted. So that basically the concept of the song. That's where I got that from. Most people tend to run down on people not knowing what they're getting into. So you run down on people like the old me. I usually got it on me. Shit like that.
So yeah, the record's getting a lot of attention actually playing on the radio. Like you got an aggressive record like that playing on the radio.
Yeah.
How do you feel like that? You're like, how'd you get your sound to transition to radio spins?
I think it was organic. I guess it was missing in the industry. I brought it back to life. It just organically from me going to strip clubs, playing it just organically got on there. So he was fucking with me before I was rapping. So he kind of broke the record. He was playing it like 2-3 times a day, every time he sound on. And then it just gravitated from there to LA, other parts. Now we here.
You got people, big artists back in the record. Like I seen Designer was actually just supporting the record on radio.
That's my boy.
How do you and Designer go back?
We go back from when we started with the song we got. I was always in the club busting it up, so there was times where he'll come through and I'll already be in here drinking, and I'll be like, yo, come by me. And he'll come by me and he'll bust it up, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll turn up with him on stage, and from there we're just genuine. Like, these people met me before the rapping, so.
That's one of the big parts of, I guess, what helped blow Casanova up right there, Twiz. Having the ability just to hit somebody up like a Designer, you know what I mean? Like, hey, man, can you come to my spot to get it a little bit more lit? Can you come to my spot to make me look a little bit more dope out here, to make me look a little bit more sought? I don't know if they would actually say those words, Twiz, but it's kind of like if I wanted to compare it to anything, maybe you can compare it to something else. Maybe it's like if O'Malley's at a spot, he could hit Meek, yo, roll through the spot, let's turn it up. Or even if it's something like if like a promoter hit O'Malley or somebody, you know what I mean, associated with Dream Chasers, like, yo, I'm gonna give you this, and then he's like, well, if you tack on this, I can get Meek to come out with me as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes shit can work out like that.
Facts. A lot of times they do the right cosigns. It works, bro. You don't even gotta be a rapper or nothing like that. Salute, Anthony. We see you too, bro. Salute. But you don't even gotta be a rapper. You get the right cosigns from the right people, and you still popping. It might be in your city or on a smaller stage. You know what I mean? But definitely, much
Right.
respect, James Brown.
Yep, like Benny the Butcher, for example. You know what I mean?
Facts.
What 50 Cent did with all of the G Unit artists. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
different things like that are examples of it. Let's get back
Facts.
into this though, because Casanova is actually going to break down how he got the Don't Run beat here.
I guess they supporting it because it's good music, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so when you say you and Designer knew each other before rap, what is your relationship like with him before rap?
Before rap, let's say club hopping, it'll be like, yo, Kaz, when you rap, I'm gonna see skills tonight, and I'll be like, all right, fuck it, I'm pulling up. What time you going? And then we'll pull up together. He'll be like, yo, I'm doing this after. You wanna fuck with it? I'll be like, you gotta fuck with it. And from there, we just created a bond. You know, a lot of people didn't know, but when you never said nothing, it is what it is. You know, but just recently he posted me on the gram, so everybody really knew he fucked with me, you know?
So can you tell me a little bit about how you started and got into the game?
Actually, I just was in the studio with a couple motherfuckers, and me and my man was in there, and we was like, yo, everybody was forcing me to rap. I was like, man, rappers ain't got no money, man. I ain't trying to do that, right? They fronted and they ain't got it. This is just good.
Rappers ain't got no money, Twiz. That's what they all say, bro. But I don't think Casanova ever got as much money as when he started to rap. I mean, we saw the lifestyle that he started to live. You know what I mean? He was at zoos in Africa, you know, filming videos with hyenas. You know what I mean? He was in Bora Bora with his girlfriend, traveling the most exotic beaches. You know what I mean? I think he probably looks back at a statement like that, like, what was I thinking?
Well, a lot of people gas their situation up. A lot of rappers gas it up, like, oh man, I was already doing this and doing that. Yeah, I mean, everybody I know that's getting money, they wouldn't even become a rapper. They'd be the ones putting the money behind the rappers, if anything. You know what I mean? Making sure they jeweled up and all of that. And there's plenty of ways to make money out here. So a person that's really munching, like if you're getting more money than a rapper, and I know they, you know what I'm saying, they not the richest people on earth, but if you're getting money than a rapper that can go make 250,000 just doing a quick tour, then rapping is like kind of a down step if you up like that, bro. Like
I want everybody in here to vote. If you haven't voted in the poll, we got 90 votes so far, Twiz. I want to know, who do you all think got further in the industry? Who do you think got further in the industry? Was it Casanova 2 times or was it Troy Ave? Right now, Twiz, Troy Ave is leading with
really?
56% of the vote over
Oh,
44 for Casanova. This is a tight one, Twiz.
was SV wrong, man? You know what I'm saying? I picked Cass, man. I guess because I liked his music a little more. You know what I mean? Dang. I might gotta, you know, do a little hip hop research after this, man.
Yeah, you know, Akeem, I'm talking about that. Casanova had cosigns from the likes of Fabulous, Chris
Uh-huh.
Brown, Young M.A. You know what I'm talking about? Major salute
Facts.
to Anthony. Anthony says, hey, much respect, Mikey T and SV Twiz. That bridge the gap from the artist to the fans. Much love, bros. Salute forever. I will support facts. I appreciate you for taking notice of that as well, man. You know what I
Real
mean?
rap,
It's what we
Anthony.
try to do over here.
Real rap. You part of the family, bro. You know how we carry it.
And yo, Anthony, who'd you vote for in the chat? Who'd you vote for in the poll, I should say? If anybody hasn't voted, I want you all to vote in the poll right now. Who made it further? When I'm talking about further, I'm talking about who got more clout in the industry? We saw Casanova eventually connect with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Jay-Z take notice of Casanova. Troy Ave, though, Troy Ave had big deals on the horizon with the likes of Rick Ross,
True.
T.I., 50 Cent, and they didn't really go anywhere, Twiz.
True, they didn't.
Look, Anthony says Cass, unfortunately. Now, if you say unfortunately because of the fact that Troy Ave had so many different deals seemingly on the table, I would have loved to have seen Troy Ave with MMG or G Unit. Hustle Gang, not so much. What do you think, Twiz?
Yeah, Troy Ave, definitely. I could see Troy Ave with MMG. You know what I mean? I could, he had what it take, bro, to make it in the industry. He got different styles of music. His voice and everything is different. His style of music is different. You don't hear it every day. But, once again, man, that the things that happened, it really put a pause on everything for anybody probably wanting to do business with him now.
Yeah, and it put a lot of pause on the fans wanting to be associated with him, Twiz. I remember going to a Troy Ave show where, infamously Troy Ave's manager, Hussein, I want to say. I think his name was Hussein. Somebody correct me in the chat. I might be totally off on that. So Troy Ave's manager actually gave me a bottle of rosé. Like I noticed they popped the bottle of rosé and they weren't even drinking it. So I'm like, I'm on the stage with them. I'm like, yo, that's me. Like joking around. I was like, yo, that's me. Because I noticed they weren't touching it. Like Troy Ave was using it like a prop. So they were like, yeah, that's you. He gave it to me. He's like, yeah, that's you.
Mikey finessed them real quick.
Yep. So then the second time that Troy Ave did a show in Connecticut, there was nobody there, bro. It was dead. It was dead.
Yeah, his shows right now, like,
But yeah, let's back into the.
It was like just do it. So I actually went in and I enjoyed it. From there, I didn't really know nothing about it. I ain't have no beats. Nobody ain't want to send me no beats or nothing. So I walked in the studio with no beat one day, and the engineer, Rob from Red Room, said, yo, I got a beat from the internet. So I'm like, let me hear it. So I'm in here, Dolly. My man John was supposed to meet me there. He never met me there. So, I went in there and he played the beat for me. So as soon as I heard the beat, I remember dudes be like, you gotta buy the beat before you rap on it or whatever the case may be. So I already knew I loved the beat. I didn't want to get him excited. I didn't know if it was for sale or not. So I'm like, that beat is for sale. He's like, yeah, for sale, you can buy it online. So I pulled out my credit card and bought the beat right there before I said anything on it. And then a couple hours in, boom, I just said it like, feel me? They could try to get me for my watch. And it was history after that. I'm here.
So yeah, tell me about how you linked up with Warehouse Music Group.
I met a Warehouse Music Group through Tax. Tax introduced me to Germ. Me and Germ from the same hood, from Flatbush, and know the same people from Flatbush. So from there, Germ introduced me to Bleak. But
boom, right there. That is the transition of how it happened, Twiz. Taxstone pretty much put Casanova in position to link up with Memphis Bleak, who had just linked with Warehouse Music that had gotten a relationship and establishment with Rock Nation, man. What do you think about that lineup right there, man?
It's crazy how everything fell through so fast, and that shows you on top of talent, being able to meet the right people and the timing and everything. It just fell in place for him, man. And he seemed always to be thankful for, the success and for how everything fell through for him.
Yep, that's right. Hovain. Hovain. Yeah, it's dope to hear that though, man. Crazy.
It
Crazy.
is.
I did the interview, but sometimes it's like the interview's filled with so many different gems. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
From hearing about how he got the beat for what did he say, $200?
Yep. Yep.
How much of a come up must that have been, Twiz?
It is, and that's how it be for people that do make those beats but don't got big names. It's a lot of talented guys out here, man. Even on YouTube, period, you type in free instrumentals and you be like, oh, this joint slapping. You know what I'm saying? So he was smart instead of trying to go to, let's say, try to get a Metro beat or something like that. You know what I mean? Where you got to pay thousands. That was an investment, bro. A great flip right there.
Major flip, man. Major
Hmm
flip. That's like Bobby Shmurda recording the Hot Boy song in a studio for $20, Twiz.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
heavy.
I guess you would have to say Bobby's was a bigger flip because Bobby is like unnaturally rich right now, man.
Facts, facts. That joint, now that was crazy, crazy.
All right, everybody keep voting in the poll. If you haven't voted, if you're just tuning in, we have a poll up, you guys. Who do you think made it further in the industry? Who do you like better as an artist? Who do you got? Troy Ave or Casanova? And the poll right now, Troy Ave 57%,
Okay,
Casanova 43%, Twiz.
Troy Ave still rolling up the ladder.
Yep, and we got another 15 votes that just came in, so he's still
Damn.
rolling up a little bit. BSB had something. Oh yeah, yep, BSB. For some reason, East Coast Connect. I was thinking BSF. You know what I mean? The Black Soprano family, Benny the Butcher. For some reason, that just went through my head, Twiz. But no, BSB. Young Lido. I had actually did an interview
Hmm
with Young Lido at one point. That shit's up to like 100,000 views.
Fire.
And yes, the manager's name was not Hussein. I'm sorry, it's Hovain. Hovain. My bad about that because Hovain's a good dude and he's a genius in the industry. All right, so let's finish this up right here.
We actually came to a session in the studio. We was at the studio, and then we just clicked from there, and then it just been instant.
Clear Cass, could you break down your relationship with Taxstone for me?
My relationship with Tax, I'm gonna sum it up. Taxstone and I was both stoned. So we was in jail together, put blood in a couple people's mouths together. He was always crazy. We was in the box, which is the whole 24-hour lockdown. He always used to be doing dumb shit, holding his slide, going on the loaf. The loaf is when you act bad. They give you the loaf of bread like this big.
All right, hold on. Let's try to go over a little bit about that, Twiz. He said that he would do dumb stuff like hold the slide.
Yeah, I heard him hold the slide. New York jail's different, man.
What does that sound like? Something where you would like keep the door open or something like that?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? People got they different lingos and all of that.
Yeah, and why so how would these guys come across each other in the box though, Twiz? Isn't it a one-man thing?
No, I think he talking about probably jail period. But I know if he talking about the whole, a lot of times the whole, if you in the county, it be two to the cell a lot of times, man. In the hole and all of that. If you upstate, that's when they put you in the joint where they take everything off you and just put you in there. You be in there by yourself. Upstate hole is different than the county jail hole. The county jail hole, they just like I know like on State Road, it'd be two to a cell. A few people might be one to a cell. But it's just 23 and one. But I don't know if he was referring to the hole when he said the box or if he just talking about jail period. He probably just talking about jail period because if you got unless they met each other on the hole in the hole because you get that hour a day, but it sounded like they was in population how he was talking.
But you said in the hole, sometimes it'll be 2 to a cell.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be 2 to a cell.
So you'll be with another person for 23 hours.
Yeah, 23 hours, definitely. You be in there 23 hours, and on top of that, it's like even if you're not in the hole, it's like when your block is open, if you really tight with your celly and all that, y'all still deal with each other even when the block is open. Y'all cooking together, y'all playing spades together, go to the yard, might run ball together.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to assume that the hole and the box are the same thing. But you're saying those are kind of different lingos for different jails, like from Philly to New York? One
Yeah, you could like out Philly, we call it the bucket. Like the hole is the bucket.
Okay.
But you can be like you know what I'm saying, the box period is, it could be referred to as a jail, or some people might, push it as the hole. You know what I mean? But out Philly, we just call the hole the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I didn't know they would actually let you kick it with somebody else. You know what I mean? At least the whole day. That's got to like pass the time a little bit, but
Yeah.
and just to think about it, that Casanova is in there kicking it with Taxstone, but obviously at this point, Casanova really wasn't doing the rap thing.
Yeah, definitely. That was, him running the streets. And what added to him becoming a rapper, because you got people that can vouch for you. That's what it's about. When you rapping and you talking about the streets and all that, the more cosigns and people you got vouching for you that, yeah, he was really that, he was really this. It just make everything even more organic, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's a layup drill.
I mean, I'm just saying, Twiz, because you got to imagine you'd never hear of a rapper getting locked up with a podcaster like that. You would never hear about this.
Yeah, and this was both before they was that, so it's just crazy. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? That they was in them shoes and came home and really, especially when you mentioned them podcasters, because a lot of podcasters, especially at the statue that he had reached, wasn't really too much into the streets and had to sit in jail. You know what I mean?
Damn, I wonder how accessible how accessible podcasts are to the people locked up. I could just imagine how many people are listening to Wallow on $1 Million Worth of Game if they have the accessibility to hear it, Twiz.
Yeah, it's a possibility, because now it's different when I was in there, but now they got like the tablets and all of that stuff, so they might be able to tune into the apps and listen to the podcast. I mean, that would be dope right there, because even with like music downloads, people forget a lot of them downloads come from the jails too. They can't just go on YouTube and listen to a song. They gotta pay for excuse me, they gotta pay for it, you know what I mean, to download that joint. So salute to the jails, man.
All right, so let's get back into this because Casanova was speaking on how they met in the box.
Starview. We used to be giving each other foods and stuff like that. We used to get visits together. We used to have some bad bitches that used to joke on him, he used to joke on me. Then he's one of those people that told me, yo, you should rap. We came home, linked up. Like, yo, you should rap. You got the voice for it, you got the energy. And I was like, man, fuck you. Like I said, I still think we don't got no money in it. But when you tired of doing what you was doing, then, it's what you resort to, the right thing. So, once he told me that, I just ran with it. And then I made some good music. Everybody liked it. I said, fuck it. Might as well do it, you know what I'm saying? Better that than going to jail. So I took that little thing he told me and ran with it.
Wow, so when you were Tax, you guys were in jail together,
Yeah.
and he was telling you should rap, or what was his aspirations in the music industry while you guys were in jail together?
No, he told me I should rap when I came home. He wasn't even no podcast owner or nothing like that. He didn't have a podcast or nothing, but he always talk shit. But one thing, he kind of fake backed it up when it was time to back it up. Even if he got fucked up, he still kept saying what the fuck he wanted to say, you know what I'm saying? So he was hilarious, even to the COs.
I like that, Twiz. I like that. Even if, he would get beat up, even if he would get knocked down, he would still defend himself, defend the words that he was saying,
Facts.
even if he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, that's signs of a soldier right there. To be like that. Where you might have somebody that be in that situation and they start apologizing, or they letting the person that got over them just run over them in the jail and all of that. Like, you know what I mean? That just shows you the realness and the realness of that interview, man. Because nobody win them all, man. But to always hold your grounds and still stand on what you say, you know what I'm saying? That's warrior move right there.
So Taxstone was not telling Casanova while they were locked up together, get into the rap, because at that point, Cass said he wasn't actually the big podcaster. But once they got out of jail, Taxstone pushed him. He said, "You got to start rapping," to which Casanova responded, "F you. I still don't got any money." What do you make of that, though, Twiz? Taxstone getting out of jail. I don't exactly know who got out first, whether Taxstone had started making his name in the industry while Casanova was still serving his time or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But what do you make of him actually pushing that influence on him? And then, as Cass said earlier, ultimately being the one that put him on to Rock Nation, man.
Well, what got me shocked about the whole thing is that Taxstone pointed out one thing that a lot of people don't understand. You can write down the greatest lyrics. You hear the instrumental in your head. It makes sense. It sounds fly in your head. But do you have a voice for it? And do the voice that you have fit the music that you delivering? I think Taxstone had a great eye for talent for him to notice that, bro, you got a voice for that. Like, you know what I mean? And then the style that Casanova had came out with, you know what I mean? Everything it fell in place for him. But thinking of how Casanova probably felt at that time, you talk about becoming a rapper. Sometimes that's like talking about trying to make it to the NBA. You got a lot of artists where it take them years. They be like, bro, you just did the exclusive interview with the Butcher, and he dropped some shocking information. Like, no, I've been rapping since like '99. So it's like, wow. So a lot of artists, talented or not, it takes them years to build up and to even get noticed. So for him to just take a shot at it and take off like that, it's just mind blowing, man.
Yeah, and then when you have somebody, in your back pocket, you know what I mean? When you got somebody in your back pocket now becoming one of the biggest people when it comes to news and information, like Taxstone was doing, I think that puts a little bit of an extra pep in your step as well, Twiz.
Facts. That's a big fact. You know what I mean?
To know that somebody is actually going to see your material. You know what I mean? A lot of times you organically got to build it 100 views by 100 views, 50 views to 100 views up to 1,000 views. But when you got somebody who put you, you know what I mean, in front of everybody's face, you know what I mean, and really get that real feedback, you've kind of, you've won, man.
Thanks.
Unless you suck.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, y'all, finish up the poll. Damn, we got 124 votes now in the poll, Twiz. The poll is, who got further in the industry? I want to know what y'all think. Is it Casanova 2 times? Is it Troy Ave? Vote in the poll right now. Casanova 2 times is at 45%, Twiz. Damn. Troy Ave, 55%. Still leading by a little bit of percent, man.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
He's smoking it.
Yep. Hey, I think people are just keeping it real, man.
Yeah.
Troy Ave, he had a lot of other potential deals on the table, whereas Casanova has mostly been locked in at the warehouse Rock Nation thing, Twiz.
True. And plus, people still probably counting what Troy Ave doing right now because, it might not be the biggest, but he's still pushing.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what happens here at the end of the interview.
Yo, fuck you, suck my dick. They'll come fuck him up and you say it again next 2 days. Fuck you, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? So he been like that, he still is like that, and he'll never change. I'll be like, this fucking dude is bugged out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he don't smoke his beef, or he be a little crazy. But when I came home, he told me that. He was like, yo, you should rap. Other people told me that too. And I think they had an energy for it. Or I should say the time. So actually, when I got the time and I made a song, you know, sometimes you gotta see it to believe it. So when you see people, hold on, I got something here. So I just started going in the studio and I made it work.
Was I want to ask you, man, at the end when he said the time obviously I can understand, but when he said the energy to do the song, what do you think he meant by the energy?
I mean, the vibes and everything, the motivation, the push. You know, it got to come from your insides when you're doing that music. You can't just be like, well, I'm gonna write a song real quick, and it's not pushing from inside your soul. You know, you can just tell, like, you know what I'm saying, how his voice was on the tracks that, you know, he dug deep for it, and it hit different. You can tell.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, Twiz, man. That's why you're my co-host, bro. You really have a grasp of this shit. You really some people say, you could finish someone's sentence, but it's like when somebody can, detail a thought and put out an information like you just did, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can't articulate everything, but when you got a co-host right there who can articulate it for you, man, you really put that in the right way.
Appreciate you.
We got Jay Wavy in the
Jay
building.
Wavy. Much
Hope,
respect, bro. Much respect.
I hope y'all enjoyed the watch along. Had to go over the Taxstone. Had to go over the Taxstone statement that he put out today. Also, Banga's brother put out a message of, in regard to the TI party. This is still an ongoing case. It's going to go on for a little minute when you got situations like this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like these things, they could take how much longer do you think this thing could take, Twiz?
To maybe up to 2 more years. It depends on how they doing with the evidence and all of that. That's how it be like when, especially situations with that. Not to talk about it too much, but by the time he in trial and then they mention the date that he got locked up, you be like, damn, it been 3 years already. Like that's just one of them cases right there. Like,
Yeah, let me check this out. So it actually that shit was back in that was back in 2016, Twiz.
see,
But yeah, we're gonna open it up right now. If anybody has open questions, send them in. Quiz, if you want to rock for the open questions, that's cool. If not, I respect your time.
definitely, I rode for a couple minutes and all that. You know, the kids and all that
Definitely
just got back.
appreciate
So
you. I appreciate you tapping in for the impromptu, the impromptu interview today, man. The impromptu live podcast, I should say.
for sure, man. Always a pleasure, man. And salute to everybody in the chat, man. You know, we love how y'all engage in it. Salute to everybody that put their votes in. You know, bring, you know what I'm saying, y'all? That's how we carry it over here, man. Report Card Radio.
Yep. Yeah, everybody, this is your last chance to get your votes in. Who got further in the industry? If you haven't voted, vote now. I want everybody to vote. I'll read out the votes in just a second. I'm about to show y'all who my next interview is with. I got a new interview here. I got a new interview from a dope artist out of Florida, actually.
Oh, you about to leak it? Oh, man.
About to leak it. I got the drop right here. He's got a new record called 19 with Lil I'm talking about Brick Boy Dior.
What's going on, everybody? It's Brick. I'm out here rocking with Mikey T, the movie star. Y'all tap in. Let's go.
Brick Boy Dior, new single 19 featuring Little Mosey out right now. Y'all can check that out. He's got a new single. It's pretty dope, man. Brick Boy Dior. He does a whole lot of streams. He puts out a lot of dope music, man. So I'm looking forward to showing everybody this interview.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hell yeah. Brick Boy Dior, major salute to him. But if anybody has any open questions right now that you guys want to send in, Chase Moolah, appreciate you for tapping in.
You already know, Chase Moolah. You know how we carry it.
Just wanted to come on here for a live today. Midday, mid-afternoon live, man. I appreciate everybody finding us for these streams. Ray Gunn says, Brick about to make it. Keep pushing, Brick. Yeah, Brick's a good dude, man. Really appreciate him for stopping through the channel for an interview. Twiz, let me get you to do your plugs, bro.
All
So
right,
everybody
man.
can follow you. That's tapped in right now. Still got like 90 people tapped in, Twiz.
Okay, man. Y'all know how we carry it, man. It's SV Twiz, man. The hood blogger with my brother Mikey T, the movie star, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Report Card Radio La Familia, man. Y'all know how we carry it. Make sure y'all follow the YouTube channel, man, the hood blogger. You know what I'm saying? I got a fire interview that joint about to drop tomorrow. Other than that, if y'all new to my channel, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all sub, bro, because you know I blog the city of Philly. I got some dope interviews on the channel. And I also talk up about, you know what I'm saying, real situations and life situations. And, you know, I keep it spread it out and all that, man. It's the hood block. I keep everything for the trenches, man. And salute to everybody, man. And, you know, just stay tuned in, man. Mikey Teaches pin the Instagram _Twiz215. If y'all interested in being a part of like a movie, if y'all got camera work, y'all want to be part of the audio team or anything, even the extra in the movie. If you don't want to be a direct actor, DM me, man, on the gram _Twiz215. If you're not on the gram, email me svtwiz@gmail, man. Simple as that. The new movie project is about to be in the making. So if y'all want parts, man, just hit me up, man. Let's get it. It's only one way from here, y'all, and that's up. You know how we carry it.
I also got your YouTube pinned. I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the top of the chat so everybody can subscribe to SV Twiz right now if you haven't already. And everybody on here, I want y'all to follow me back as well. Whoever follows me based on this video right now, all 80 of you guys in here, I will follow you guys back immediately. Now, for everybody watching on demand, head over to the description part of the video. I'm going to put up SV Twiz's YouTube channel, The Hood Blogger. Both of our Instagrams will be there. So if you follow us back, just shoot us a message or a comment on a picture like, yo, Mikey T, SV Twiz, I was watching you guys on your videos and I'm following you now, so follow me back. You know what I'm saying? We won't hesitate to follow y'all, man. Just do me a favor. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss our live videos, man. So you never miss a live video with us.
Facts. Make sure you hit the all notifications too.
Twiz, anything left to say before we get up out of here today?
Man, that's it, man. It's only one way from here, man, and that's up, man. Enjoy your enjoying your vacate, man. Thanks for running the show while you still on vacation, man.
You already know, man. Hip hop doesn't stop.
Yes, sir.